So you're on vacation?
No, sir. No.
Why have you At least well, she's better than sir.
Okay. Because we're so used to this calling sir, no?
She also, I told her so many times. Sir, just call me Yash.
It seems to be very respectful.
Oh, yes, I feel like I'm 80 years old. You call me Yash.
Even if it is 1 year elder, also we cannot call you like that.
Yeah.
You are anyway 1 year elder to me, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just 43.
I'm not even reached my 40s. So you're at least 3 years older. Indeed, you are coming today. Next meeting we have meetings, but then one of these meetings you have to take a meeting. Right, you know. I was asking you to take a meeting with you.
Next time.
Not next. Next we actually have duplicates. Duplication is there. Sukumar is also included. So lesson learned is that movement chooses first. First comes first serve. As with the education, that is the first lesson that I learned.
Maybe what
I actually
well, in
share.
Excel,
Everyone can know, and that is also motivation. You see, the people are taking up role, maybe I didn't take it up for me. So that is actually good, but then I actually prepared that first and shared. Maybe we'll have to go for it once again.
pro IT president does not agree to it.
No, actually that
No, nothing for you.
we didn't discuss about it. Because this when two people choose, no, every time at least 2 roles we have is so that's a problem.
Why webcam? Because every now
I actually clarity.
That we have the
3 years is helpful. 3 years
This is hello, sir. The president of no, comment. We have that big gallery, you know, inside the gallery. I only watch the.
Good day to come to.
How are you?
Link of place.
Yes.
Or oh,
Well, I'm not saying. Laptop has a presentation for developing selling.
I checked it out that when the meeting will happen.
No, why
Especially it's one of main agenda is to be part of and see what's happening in
you are undercut? Maybe.
Yeah.
No, I already years ago. Maybe if it was in laptop. Okay. Everything. What is the topic requires
Like you talk.
that time you make it that
Just to see you all.
My God, I feel very honored.
No, honestly speaking, I came here to just, I made sure that Saudi just to attend the meeting. Yeah, sure.
My God.
Oh, yeah, it's not based in Saudi now.
Right now, it's most of
You are
the here back.
Saudi.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can drive down and.
But it's not easy, na? They are
You are in Riyadh.
Yeah.
Ah.
So it's
Okay.
like-
Tomorrow, the
Yeah, then it will be
right?
for sure. I can rejoin them.
So any films in the making?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, no, that's what you want.
So one, was on that, Jagannathi.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Long distance.
Long distance.
Yeah.
That last time was cool.
I love Darya but you know, that was. So it's not come to mainstream.
No, it's not come to mainstream.
Or not to any OTT platform.
Not to only, there is a very difficult to bring a short films on OTT.
Another thing. So where is it available for people?
From YouTube now.
Oh,
It's on YouTube.
so that, you set up the.
Before it was not there,
Yeah.
obviously, so later on we put it on.
Put it on.
Yeah, because it has been good festivals and
Yeah,
for,
I went
for
to
2 years.
the
Yeah, so many
right?
good. We got a lot of awards. We have been to Cannes even.
Yeah.
I even feature, full length feature, towards 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's released in Pakistan last year. It's going to release in GCC within August.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Let us
yeah,
know
so
the
you have to
time.
watch it
So we-
in cinemas.
Yeah, nothing like it. Yeah.
It also got a lot of awards.
This one.
Yeah, this one. So it's only from India. If I
What's
say
the
that's
name of the dog?
Gunjal, entangled.
Gunjal.
Gunjal means entangled. So it's a crime drama.
Oh, awesome.
Crime
Yeah,
thriller.
crime genre.
Yeah, so it's a crime thriller. What's the net based on 2 events in Pakistan? Yeah, so it's, we got Dada Sahab, I got Dada Sahab Phalke Award, best director.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on that. They're on the Facebook.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh, I am not there.
And on Jaipur Film Festival.
In a dilemma whether I should come back or not. You know, with something like this, I think I should come back.
Don't need to be active, but you can just.
Yeah, I think you should once in a
Keep
way.
on watching what other people are doing.
That's the most problem. I think I must stop for that.
Obviously. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, this birthdays, those are the things, you know. But then when you see the junk in
That's how you.
also when you get out of the habit of going to that, then it just mind
You have-
turns off completely, you know, that's. another
Otherwise,
thing.
you know, every 10 minutes.
You have to look, yeah, exactly.
And now there are a lot of apps, like obviously first, earlier it was only Facebook.
Now,
Now
Insta,
Insta, Snapchat, Twitter, and TikTok, so how many you can manage?
Yeah, from where on.
It's a task.
You're already an app.
Yeah, sure. Sorry. Good to have you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, doctor.
Once in a quarter.
Yeah, I should.
Like an auditor.
Yeah. Who is doing right and who is doing wrong? I have to watch. A third eye.
You-
You are in Saudi, you can plan to be a member of WMC and come every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Omar would-
otherwise I would have definitely.
It's after 5 years now?
6 years.
6 years.
6 years. I left at 18.
How did you know?
I come in between for a visit. actually.
Someone to know how, where you were.
Yeah, I in touch with Bilal. Then I asked him, he is not coming.
Bilal, I like.
He vanished. Now, so he told me briefly, I said, why?
Yeah.
Then he said, no, but I will let you know that when it's happening.
Bilal, actually,
Yeah, of course. No, I'm very dedicated member, you can ask.
She's our VPS, Dr.
That's
Sochi.
how.
And that's our VPPR. I'm not recognizing them out of their moment. And that's our sergeant at arms, Geeta. So all new members.
Great, we know to see you.
Yeah.
Then you.
Some of us are the old
Yeah.
Like this.
Exactly. Old is gold.
So one old and gold is sitting there.
Gold.
Platinum now.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
I thought you would say diamond. Thought you would say diamond.
Yeah, diamond.
Yeah.
He's working towards that.
No, diamond are sitting here. We are platinum.
Diamonds are.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Every 4 years, the world pauses to witness the incredible spectacle of the Olympics, where athletes from diverse backgrounds come together, united by a common goal to push the boundaries of human potential. Just like the Olympians, we too are a diverse group bringing our unique strength and talents to this assembly. Remember, the true essence of the Olympics is not just about winning gold medals. It's about the journey, the effort, and the shared pursuit of something greater. Similarly, our success today will be measured not just by the outcomes we achieve, but by the respect, collaboration, and enthusiasm we bring to this room. As your Sergeant at Arms, it's my privilege to welcome everyone to today's meeting with a spirit of camaraderie, excellence, and determination, values epitomized by the Olympic Games. Before we get started, here are a few important reminders for a smooth meeting experience. Please don't forget to mark your attendance. The link will be shared in our WhatsApp group. Please refrain from discussing topics such as politics, religion, or any religious beliefs. Kindly ensure your mobile phones are switched off to silent mode to avoid any disruptions. The restrooms are on my right, and so are the exit signs. Now, let us welcome the person who embodies the Olympic spirit of excellence and perseverance. Just as athletes look to their coach for inspiration and guidance, we look to him for his wisdom and leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the one who champions our journey toward greatness. Please give a warm round of applause with gusto for our esteemed President, Toastmasters Report.
Perfect, perfect. Very well introduction, Sajita. Thank you. Calling meeting number 487 to order. I think we have one guest with us. If you can please introduce yourself.
Hello,
I know
good evening,
everyone
everyone.
already knew you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm not a guest. I will not consider me as a guest. I always be part of and the member of WMC, and I'm very much proud of it. My name is Shoaib Sultan. I was part of WMC from 2016 to 18, and working in Bahrain at that point of time, and left for good to Pakistan, and recently joined in a company in Saudi. And so it's my privilege and honor to be back here in this platform where a lot of people, the old faces, new faces. So it's a very gusto energy here. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. AP education is all the role players are present or
No, we actually we are waiting for a speaker and an evaluator to join.
okay.
We have
Same
speak.
speaker and same
No,
evaluator.
no, for a different speaker and a different speaker. We have now joined who will be evaluating Subramaniam and
Norman is here.
What is here?
Norman also.
Care is a speaker.
Oh, Norman, okay.
Norman is here,
Okay,
so he's just coming here.
okay.
Yes,
Yes.
surely be coming
He'll
in.
be coming.
Before his speech.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we
He will
continue.
give it.
Okay. Is there anyone who is going to adopt the agenda, please? No. Yes, she can take up. And second, someone?
I Toastmaster Abdul Rahim second year.
Okay. Thank you. And we have some apologies from Toastmaster Robin, Toastmaster Nubin, Toastmaster Sitara, Gitam Ganpati, Toastmaster Roy, and Toastmaster Priyanka. Because many are on holidays. Thank you. So before I start the presidential speech, let me introduce the grammarian. You know why? Because sentence with grammatical mistakes and wrong pronunciation leads to a catastrophe. So to check our grammars, let me introduce the grammarian, because with the theme, the man who loves cricket, like almost majority of Indians do the same. On his college time, he bunks the classes to watch Gundappa Viswanathan Square Court. When it comes to sports, he has a broader perspective. As for him, Olympic spirit is a philosophy of life, prompting universal brotherhood in the spirit of sportsmanship, where we aim to create a world free of discrimination. And he quotes from Hirandranath Chattopadhyay, right? Yes, a famous poem. Although we hail from different lands, we share one earth, one sky, and one sun. The world is one. Grammarian, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim.
Vivek called me the other day and I asked him, I don't have a sports jersey. What should I wear, Vivek? He said, no problem, never mind. Wear anything, plain tee, and say you are a golf player. But don't forget to wear a cap. So here I am. Anyway, before playing golf, let me introduce the word of the day. Thank you, Mr. President. My dear fellow Toastmasters, most honored guest. The dual functions of a grammarian, of course, as we all know, is to introduce the word of the day and to observe the language and submit a report. Now, language, of course, has three essential functions. Number one is grammar, of course. Number two is the diction, the choice of words and phrases. Number three, pronunciation. Now, pronunciation, of course, we know it's not chocolate, it's chocolate. It's not broccoli, it's broccoli. It's not pizza, it's pizza. And there is no Wednesday in the week. It's always Wednesday. It's not breakfast, it's breakfast. Have you had your breakfast? Did you take your breakfast? So tomorrow you don't have breakfast, you have breakfast. So ladies and gentlemen, choice of phrases like diction. We have fill up, fill in, fill out. Similar fill in. I was a grammarian in the last meeting. I couldn't make it. Toastmaster Kumar, my good friend, graciously filled in for me. Now fill out. Can you please fill out this application for me? Fill out. It's about liquid. Can you please fill up this glass of water for me? So coming up, ladies and gentlemen, the word of the day, which we have left no stone unturned to select the most beautiful word, because you all deserve the best in life, including the word of the day. So we have gusto. I'm sorry, it sounds like masculine, but our ladies can happily use it. Gusto, as you can see, there is an Italian flavor, like gusto, like Milano, like Angelo, like Bruno, like Roberto Baggio, to resonate with the theme. So it's an Italian origin word borrowed by English in the 16th century. Of course, English we all know. They are notorious for not only for making colonies, but also for plucking words from other languages and putting them into their lexicon. So anyway, the meaning of the word gusto is to do anything with a lot of energy, enthusiasm, and enjoy doing it. You don't do the thing just for the sake of doing, but really enjoy doing it and relishing it. Now, what could be the synonyms for this? Anybody?
Enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm, exactly. Anybody else?
Vibrance.
Vibrance, yeah, to an extent,
Excited.
accepted. Excitement, excited, yes, talk. Relishing, zeal, zest. Now, antonym could be laziness, probably, indolence, lethargic, sluggishness, listlessness, torpidity, all these things. It's a noun. Now, how can we use the word of the day? Well, Toastmaster Vivek, our VPPR, kicked off the year with a lot of creativity and gusto. He did this everything with a lot of energy, enthusiasm. At the same time, it was apparent that he was enjoying what he was doing. WMC Toastmasters Club always conduct their meeting with a lot of gusto. I can see a smile on the face of Dr. Babu. Because it's not I am blowing my own trumpet, but even other club members like DDM Thoraya mentioned in the group, they also echo these sentiments. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, the word of the day, and you have a role to play. And please use the word in its proper context. Life is all about context. And I'm sure today, this is the word of the day, but you're going to make it the word of the year. Over to President for delivering his presidential address with gusto.
Before I start, I think we are.
One more time.
One more time, please.
Or one last time.
One last time.
Yes, sure.
Because he is going to fill the form today itself. Going to the yes, please.
Good evening, Toastmasters. And yes, if there are any. No.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Yes. Well, hopefully I'm the guest for the last time and looking forward to seeing you all and hope we have a wonderful session too.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone know the name of the first Indian who win individual Olympic gold medal?
Why are you looking at me?
His name
Can
is
you read?
Abhinav Bindra.
Oh, yeah.
His journey to becoming the first Indian to win an individual Olympic gold and the first Indian to win a world championship gold in air rifle shooting is an example of a single-minded quest for perfection. He was born on September 28, 1982. Bindra was introduced to shooting at a young age. Encouraged by his parents, who recognized his keen interest and steady hand, Bindra began training with gusto in the sport of air rifle shooting. He participated in his first Olympic at the age of 18 during the 2000 Sydney Games. Although he did not win a medal, the experience motivated him to push harder. He continued to sharpen his skill and got training with top coaches and utilizing advanced techniques, including mental conditioning and visualization. Bindra's dedication paid off when he won a gold medal at the 2006 ISSF World Shooting Championships in Zagreb, becoming the first Indian shooter to achieve this feat. But however, his most significant achievement came at the 2008 Beijing Olympic competition, where he competing in the 10-meter air rifle event. Bindra delivered the scoring 700.5 to clinch India's first ever individual Olympic gold medal. This historic victory not only elevated Bindra to a legendary status in India, but also inspired a new generation of athletes in the country. His win was a testament to the importance of mental strength, precision, and perseverance. He wrote his autobiography, a short art history, My Obsessive Journey to Olympic Gold. Bindra retired from professional shooting in 2016, but remains an influential figure in the sports world. He established the Abhinav Bindra Foundation, aimed at fostering sports excellence and promoting the use of sports science in India and to inspiring young athletes to pursue their dreams. Avinav Bindra's story is one of relentless dedication, pioneering spirit, and historic achievement. His journey from a young shooting enthusiast to an Olympic championship. He has left an indelible mark on Indian sports history. Here, Toastmasters. And with the same spirit, now let's introduce the captain of the team today, who will control the entire game. When he was a child, for no specific reason, he always disliked volleyball. But then started loving and playing with Gesto in high school. He usually attends the Asian and World Volleyball Championship for under 19 and under 23, which are held in Bahrain. He also an avid dragon boat peddler and belonged to the club, the X3M Dragon Warriors, and participates in a race every now and then. Let's welcome our Dragon Warrior, and Bindu Kiya, Toastmasters, very welcome.
It's already too much. I might as well increase. Right, so this is my paddle. Just keep it here.
Is this to injure someone or is that to whack somebody?
Paddle. Right, fine. That was a president introducing me, but I'll say this. The Olympics is kicking off today. I thought that's a great time for me to bring back this theme. And really, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? Olympics, if you think about it, it doesn't just showcase the evolution of physical abilities. No, it also showcases the evolution of mental capabilities and societal outlook. Why do I say that? Now, the first Olympics happened in 776 BC. All right, so that's in Olympia, Greece. The only participants are free-born Greek men, and they have to participate naked. Just like this is for time. All right. So just like that, they'll have to participate naked. Now, if you compare Greek men from that secluded point to this big games that has 200 plus countries participating, a host of Olympians of different sizes, shapes, ages, and men and women. So when they all come together, that actually shows evolution or nakedness. Right, so that's actually the evolution of the human spirit. I'll just say that the modern Olympics, it began in 1896 in Athens by Baron Pierre de Coubertin. Now, you have seen the 5 Olympic rings. He designed it. And all those 5 are supposed to indicate the 5 continents. And he indicated all those 5 to be 5 different colors, which is blue, yellow, black, green, red. Because he wanted a color from every flag in the world. Every flag of every country will have at least one among the 5. Yeah. So that's how he embodied the Olympic spirit. And just like men or Greek men was active at 776, it was in 1900 that women started to participate, or the games opened up for women. And then something iconic about the torch, that is the Olympic torch. Right, so this is lit in the temple of Hera in Olympia, and it is always carried to the host city. It will stay aflame until the end of the ceremony. And once that flame is taken out, it will be brought back to that temple, that host place, and it will be lit until the next place. So that's a handing over, right? And it's in isn't our excom being handed the flame of WMC, and I happen to have the second meeting. Now, some very trivia, I'll say. All right, so I heard that the first Indian Olympian who struck an individual gold is Abhinav Bindra. So let me ask you, who is the first Indian to medal, individual medal?
He was not an Indian.
That fellow was in 1900, he got 2 silver. Let's leave him outside. The guy who got in 1952. The guy who got in 1952. Who is he? And if you cannot say his name, tell me in what sport he participated in.
Athletics.
No.
Hockey. I thought it was.
Hockey is a team game. Yeah. Wrestling.
I'm not able to recollect his name.
His name is Kushaba Jadhav, and he got bronze in 1952. Now, the youngest ever Olympian is Dimitrios Lundras, Greek gymnast. Again in 1900, he got in parallel bars in gymnastics, he got gold. He was just 10 years old. And in the Tokyo Games, the youngest gold Olympian, that was Kokoji. She got gold in skateboarding, and she was just 13 years old. Now a new event is there in this Olympics, which is breakdancing. You will also find some older events. For example, in 1900, you would find events such as fishing, such as pigeon hunting. At least 300 pigeons were killed. So this is what we are showing. We are showing the evolution of sport and evolution of mankind. That's what Olympics indicates. Now I'll just say one more trivia before I start calling in the main event, the main role players, which is this. In 1932, in the Los Angeles Olympics, now India was dominant or started being dominant in hockey from 1928 to 1956. That was the golden age of Indian hockey. So this happened in 1932, Los Angeles Olympics. India was facing USA. All right. What do you think was the score?
It started.
At the end of the game. Not at the start. Start, I know it's 0-0. At the end of the game, give a wild guess.
6-1.
Something like 40 plus.
No, 40, which 4-0 or 1-4?
Wing it with custom.
Well, good that you didn't go to 100, but okay. Anyone else? No, fine. The score is 24-1.
Oh, bad. I'm the closest.
Too far, yeah.
I'll tell you how that one happened. All right. The goalkeepers, generally the goalkeepers of hockey is slightly crazy. Because it's a very small thing and you need to be immeasurably brave to handle that thing. So this fellow, generally the goalkeepers at that time, there were a lot of Anglo-Indians. He's an Anglo-Indian, him. Now what happened is, since the game is mostly happening in USA's half, okay, he went to the sidelines and he was signing autographs. In that time, that guy, the USA team scored a goal. This is how it became 24-1. If he just did his job, it would have been 24 goals. This was in 1932, the Los Angeles Olympics. Or how do you expect USA to be in the hockey thing, right? Now it's time for my role players for today. And I'm going to start off my role play with, I will say the quote, right? I asked her what is the Olympic spirit according to her. She said, the Olympic spirit embodies fair play, unity, and the pursuit of excellence, inspiring athletes to reach their highest potential while fostering global harmony and celebrating diverse cultures. Ladies and gentlemen, our timer, Toastmaster Hita.
Once again, good afternoon, Toastmasters and esteemed guests. As we dive into today's meeting with the Olympic spirit in mind, it's time for me to take a crucial role as timer, keeping track of our time with precision and dedication as an Olympic judge. Okay, just as every second counts in a race, so does every minute matter in our speeches and presentation. I will be here with the lights, ready to help you finish strong and make every moment count. Here is how. If you see a green light, it means that you are on track and good to go. Yellow light indicates that you are approaching the finishing line. It's time to wrap up your thoughts and prepare for the final stretch. And red light, this is the final buzzer, signaling that your time is up. Please conclude your speech or presentation promptly. Just as athletes strive for perfect timing in their events, let's aim to manage our time efficiently and respect other speakers' time limit. Let's get started and bring the gusto and focus on the timing that Olympians bring to their competitions. Thank you.
Time for the next quote, and the next quote goes like this. What is the Olympic spirit? It is an opportunity for people to get together, and she is an avid watcher of gymnastics and swimming during the Olympics. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Thuraiya.
That will still first master and known to all of you, so my role today is speak out founder, which means that I will help the speaker to avoid what we call the glitches or the repeated word or the fillers, such as when we are speaking and we don't have the right things, we will say us. So these I will be counting. Also the repeated words such as so. So for example, today our MC till now he is having 7 so and 5 now. Also, one of the things we notice with ourselves when we are standing in front of audience and speaking, especially at our when we are starting is the public speaking, is repeating the words. So some words we are repeating many times. For example, you know, or because, or yani. So please, fellow Toastmaster, this is the role which is again help you to organize your thoughts and avoid these word fillers and crutches. I look forward to listen to you and record, which I already done it. By that, let me have the control back to our lovely MC. Back to you.
Today's Olympics is yet to begin, but I am the first casualty. Now it will begin. Okay, until now we just had the opening ceremony. All right, now the games are going to begin. Now before the actual players taking the role, we also need to have the judge share their feedback. Now speaking about the judge, he used to. Not used to, I'll just take this used to out. He's very good in table topics, table tennis. He's also good in table topics. And he had participated in the British club competition, reached third. He had participated in the Indian club competition, reached second in 2012. Now, even during graduation, was a champion in table tennis. He also enjoys Kho-Kho, Kabaddi, and usually you'll find his Friday evenings occupied with cricket. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster Norman Das.
Good afternoon, everyone. The purpose of the project for Toastmaster Subramanian Vidavaran is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. I wish the speaker all the very best. Thank you.
Right, this is a momentous occasion. It is time for an icebreaker. And who do we have to break the ice? He works in an international bank, and he's actually going to open up a window for us. This window is going to take us to his school days, to his college, through marriage, and through the journey to burial, and now into WMC. I can't wait to see what we got from our icebreaker, Toastmaster Subramanian. Toastmaster Subramanian Veerabalan with the speech title Destiny Never Ends. Destiny Never Ends. Toastmaster Subramanian Veerabalan.
Thank you. Okay, I'm Subramanian. So the topic is destiny never ends. So which means what I'm coming to say is that travel will continue as long as you go. And have you ever been to Madurai? Yeah, it's a great place, and here it's a one of the cultural capital of the Tamil Nadu, and it has a lot of temples and areas. It's very common, and a lot of festivals around in a year. All the months have a festival. You know one month called Adi. Okay, that they don't celebrate anything, but in the temple we have a full festival. Okay, entire year, lot of crowd and lot of people enjoy the festival days. So that's a historical place where I was born. Okay, and I was born and brought up in Madurai, and it's a place where our finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman also was born in the same place. Okay, so in my school, I joined. Okay, till my 10th grade. Okay, I was an outstanding student. So which means I always stand outside for not answering the questions. Okay, like that my studies was going, and also somehow I managed to get a pass mark and during my studies, okay, around the 10th grade, I always respect my grandfather and I love my grandmother. Always, it's time they passed away, my grandfather, and immediately I don't know my grandmother also followed him, so she also passed away. Then we had a lot of debts. We had a lot of debts in our family, so to settle that, my father and his brothers, decided to settle the loan. So we sold our house, and then we came out. I was the last person came out from the house with full sad and everything, and we moved into the rental house. That's a place where I decided that why I'm not studying. Now it's not going to nothing to help because the shop and everything it's come to zero. Then I started from there, and also I moved to next schools, some other different school. There, I started few to study and answer some questions. The friends, okay, they came and asked doubts from to clarify. So I became a more than average student in that school. So then I started studying, and it was going on. And I moved to college, which I studied a BCom bachelor degree in Madurai. In that college, so here in my schooling days, okay, the next part is schooling days. It's a boys' school. So when I moved to the college, it's a co-ed college, okay. So I exited to go to school college first day, and where around 53 students, okay, out of which 40 boys, only 13 girls. But still, all of them from different schoolings, and some girls from girls school, boys from boys school, only few from co-ed. Okay, and I don't know what happened between the boys. Okay, they decided not to talk to girls. They had something, but I disagree with that. But still, they continued. Okay, I don't know. It's because of they moved from boys to no, to the co-ed, so they were very shy to speak like that. Then after 1 year, okay, I moved to cultural stream where I approached them because it's still studies going on. That's okay, but still I need some more things to explore. So I went to the cultural stream. They said, okay, we'll take you, but what talent you have? No, I said I don't. Okay, we have a shortage of members in dance group. Okay, let's join. So I joined in the dance, and then we participated, and we did something. And also in my college days, okay, we conducted the cultural event after the 14 years.
because earlier there was a bad instance happened, so they stopped it. Then we came and we developed the one. After 14 years, we did a intergroup college competitions, and then I moved to college. We have MFC, Master of Finance and Controls. There also studied. Then after my studies, I went to audit office for audit assistance, and there I had a one good the interviewer. Okay, so the auditor only he interviewed one of my friends, the other guy. So he interviewed and there he said after 2 3 weeks, okay, he said decided to I will leave. Then I said, okay, come and go and speak to the auditor. Okay, so we went and speak, and he said he called another auditor and who interviewed him. Sir, you did a super. Why I was surprised. Okay, then he said no. The guy who interviewed you said right within 1 month he will go away. It's 2 weeks only he went. So like and then I after audit office I came to bank and then I came here and still I have marriage and I have 2 children and still it's going on and let's see even next stage how it goes. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was our sporting event. I hope you are entertained. You have set the stage. We got more such events coming up. And before I call the speaker, shall I call evaluator number 2? Now, evaluator number 2 loves sports, loves the spirit, played all kinds of sports as a kid. TT, Coco, badminton, cricket, Gilly-danda. He aced them all, and currently he is playing the sports of life. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters Supreme.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Today our speaker is attempting her level 3 project 1. Toastmaster Surabilla's purpose is for her to practice developing a communications plan. I'm sure she is going to ace it, just like we have seen so many aces coming out of her from the past. I wish her all the very best and may we all watch the action.
Ladies and gentlemen, around 3 to 4 years back, imagine that there was a great pandemic which rushed through this world. Think of the paradigm shift that has happened across workplaces. Now, there was this group of people who had suddenly, who are generally technically deficient, they had to be technically proficient. Who else other than teachers? Now, suddenly, if such a paradigm shift has happened to an more than a teacher to an HOD, what is going to be the result? It's just complete chaos. Now we need to know how these chaos get controlled. And for that, may I call upon Toastmaster Surabila to give her speech. From whiteboard to clipboard. From whiteboard to clipboard, Toastmaster Surabila.
If I ask you, in recent years, what were the days that turned your world upside down? The days of trial for not just me and you, for everyone in the world. Those days which tested human endurance. Distinguished Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and esteemed guests. Good evening, everyone. Since I didn't get an answer from you, it was the COVID days. The day started with stories from distant China, soon started echoing on our doorsteps. I was infected twice. But I'm not here to dwell into the stories of the days of lost sense of smell and that endless nasal swabs. No. My world tilted when I was assigned this responsibility of transforming our department into a digital classroom. I was working out as the head of Department of Management Studies of Kannur University, which is in Kerala. Shall I not lie? In fact, initial COVID days was welcomed with gusto by me. Seriously, because none of my loved ones not seriously affected, and with the usual academic responsibilities of pedagogy preparations, teaching plan, assignment evaluations, all suspended, and the luxury of ever extending holidays was undeniable. But my happiness didn't last long. When the government issued an order mentioning that academic activities, educational institutions has to resume their academic practices on a digital platform, my joy ceased there. And following were the days of occasional existential crisis for me. And there are two reasons for this. One, the realization that my technical skills would be tested to its limits. And second, I had the responsibility to ensure that this digital transformation in our department was happening in a 360-degree, because I was the head of the department and I had to ensure that every faculty and the staff in my department was equipped with every information required to be these warriors in the digital front. I felt like I was tasked to navigate this uncharted territory, the world of ones and zeros, in which my comfort zone was as distant as the moon. Yet with the pressure of responsibility pressing down, I embarked this digital odyssey. Do you have any idea what led me forward? It was mere determination and prayer. Seriously. But today I stand before you, equipped with a meticulously crafted communication plan. This masterpiece has every component in it which transforms a department into a well-run digital classroom. But unfortunately, this was crafted after I tamed a tornado, negotiated a peace treaty with a group of particularly stubborn postgraduate students, all while trying to figure out how to share our screen. But it was during this chaotic period that I realized the true value of a well-crafted communication plan, a plan that would have been a lifesaver for us. But during the initial days of chaos, such luxury were just set aside. Let me share my journey with you. The first mistake that I made was to assume that everyone had an innate understanding of the intricacies of Zoom, Moodle, Google Classroom and the like, except me. But soon I realized that the terms like synchronous learning and asynchronous activities were only welcomed with a blank stare on the screen. And forget about the deluge of messages in my inbox. Questions ranging from password resetting to assignment submissions to assignment evaluations flooded in my inbox. And you know how my inbox looked like? My inbox looked like a black hole sucking in my sanity along with the queries. And I felt like a one-man tech support juggling with multiple questions at a time. And talking about this, let's not forget about the technical glitches. These platforms crashed, videos froze, and my poor students vanishing in this digital ether. Ma'am, low network, sometimes genuine call, but most of the time it was fake. It would go like, voice fades out, faces freeze on the screen, but the fan on the roof would be spinning normally. It was hard, it was real hard. But in retrospect, a well-crafted communication plan would have been a lifesaver. It would have saved me from hours of frustration, at least. But hindsight, as they say, is 2020. But this battle-tested plan turned out to be literally my lifesaver a few months later when we moved to Berlin. Because the universities here was also on a digital transformation stage, and they were actually following a trial and error method. And since I was armed with principles that transformed a chaotic department into a smoothly running digital classroom, I just had to transcribe my learning into a communication plan and implement it. And thus, it became my lifesaver. That's my journey from whiteboard to the clipboard, a journey of chaos, confusions, and eventual success. Over to you.
Actually has taken her seat. Let me call upon the next evaluator. Now I want to say evaluator, very interesting. Olympic spirit for him is the chance for all the athletes to showcase their hard work, what they have been building for. His favorite sport is football. His favorite team is Barcelona. His current sport is football. Toastmaster, New
Evening. I am evaluating Toastmaster Kai. Initially, I was thinking he's not going to make it. Then I realized this in politics, he will dash in at the last minute. He's done it. He is doing his L3 P1 project, which is persuasive influence, and the title is War and Peace. The purpose of this speech is the member to develop or enhance his understanding of the steps and strategies to address conflicts. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of his experience learning about and or solving conflicts. Over to you.
Two level 3 project 1 speeches. Both are grounded in COVID, but with a difference. About the second speech, imagine an 18-year-old, his mom and dad had to go to India to look after the ailing grandmother. This happened during COVID. 2 weeks became 5 months, and this 18-year-old had to step into his businessman father's shoes, a very big shoes. Like a captain, he had faced mutiny from within, and he was facing competitors circling outside like vultures looking to swoop in and take over his business. The situation is ripe for conflict and very ripe for this particular project. Now let the hero speak, Toastmaster Cave. War and Peace, Toastmaster Cave. Toastmaster Cave, Jahangir. War and Peace.
The year is 2012. Young Calf had his social textbook open. An hour ago, his friend had called him to play in his house. And while his book was open, his mind was already in his friend's house. 10 minutes later, his mom comes, pulls a book. Oh, you've been sitting with us all day. Tell me, what is this, and this? And obviously, young Calf butchered those answers. And talk came a hit with this 2,000-page fat book. That was one of the many hits I suffered as a kid from that very book. That book was titled War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and respected TMOD. We are faced with conflict at every stage in life. I'm sure half of you here have punched your bullies back in school. You fight with a teenager, he might punch you. You fight with an old man, he might scold you. You fight with Sukumar, he might get you a coffee, give you life-changing advice, and you'll become a best friend. All of us have different approaches to conflicts, arguments, and fights, and these approaches change with time. My grandmother was one of the smartest women I ever knew. However, today she's quite old. She fought cancer. She betted, by the way. She's quite old and she gets easily agitated. She acts like a kid. She has gone back to how she used to deal with arguments back when she was a kid. So like I told you, these change at every step of the life. And when I was around 17, I was faced with my very first exposure to a conflict that could have been a real threat. The time was when I was a high school boy. It was 12th grade, it was COVID, classes were online. I didn't care about classes. I was going through a breakup. I wanted some time off. I told my dad, you know what, Dad? How many shops do you have? I want to sit at one. My father told me, sure, he was proud. Why not? Go to this store. There are some clients over there. Sometimes you can learn a thing or two. And the employee there knew me since I was a little boy. Me and that employee were always on good terms. However, quickly what they came to realize was on my very first day, I sold a huge chest for a very good price. And that sort of sparked something in my employees. However, little boy Calf, he was pretty chill. He thought everyone was rooting for him. He went on and on and on. And the next 3 weeks, I had given so many sales that things were going good. But then I realized a little thing. I used to ask my employee for the cost prices of the products. And I would sell them no matter what he would say. Then I realized to my father, this man was 10xing the price in order for me not to sell it. However, I would still sell it. So also, this was the first time when I realized, okay, human beings are all not nice. They're all not good-hearted. Even though they know you since childhood, they may be preying on your downfall. So slowly, however, I didn't know why he was doing it, but I continued my run. And one day he caught me and confronted me. Do you think I can't sell? Who do you think you are? This and that, starts blabbering nonsense and shouts me, tries to demean my confidence. Me being a 17-year-old, I told him, get out of the shop. It's my dad's shop. You do not tell me this, you do not speak to me this way. I have delivered enough sales and I will help you with sales as well. I mean, I don't see what the problem is here. That turned out to be a huge fight. And my dad ended up rushing into the shop because the guys, calm down. Young boy Calf thought obviously his dad's going to take his side. I mean, I've been achieving so many good things. He's been proud of me. But my dad was so neutral, I was shocked. Here I realized that I am in this on my own. I cannot depend on my dad to defend me, and I have to play so practically if I really want to rise high within my own dad's company. That's how the world is. So after that, for the next 6 months, no employee interacted with me. Everyone changed their face for some reason. Bear in mind, I wasn't an egoistic kid. I always smile and laugh, but something really triggered them. And in my company, this is a usual thing. People don't, whenever there's a new employee who joins in, people don't let him rise high. They always have fights. It's common. And that even came on to me. However, I continued to stand for myself. I didn't let anyone talk back to me because whatever I always did resulted in a good sale or a good decision. Slowly, that silenced them, and slowly that increased sales even more. And that got to a point where my father finally could tell my employees that, no, Calf is right. He has done this. This is a very good decision. And here are the results. When I gave my father a chance to speak that way about me, that was when I had truly won. And as I look back, I am very proud of myself for standing up to myself, standing up to an elder who was possibly 30 years older than me, but that was a cunning elder. There was someone who wanted my downfall. Did I take the right approach there? In my opinion, I did. However, for the longest time, I believed that I didn't. But in today's day, I am proud of myself for doing so. However, I am not going to teach you here to argue, shout at your boss if he tells you anything. No, that is not the purpose of the speech today. Let me talk to you about an instance when I was very patient. Let's go back to, I guess, 1.5 years ago. And that's something that happened within this own club. A certain Toastmaster, let's name him Anon. Anon was a bit new to the club, wasn't so sure about how things go, or maybe a bit new to life, I'm not so sure. I never kept this in my heart, but memories always stay. It's quite an old thing. However, young boy Calf, he was just 19 at the time, somewhat matured, sitting over there with his Grenadian papers ready. As the TMOD, Anon, introduced me, he went forward to say, he started off with, I hope you still talk to me, Calf. by the end of this. And then he went on with, this person is an overconfident person and somewhere he has an identity crisis. However, he has achieved this in life, but he added some nonsense, which is not how you really introduce people. Here I realized that, okay, this brother forgot the difference between introductions and evaluations. And he was new. So now I thought I sat for 30 seconds. Right after I finished the introduction, all the Toastmasters looked at me waiting for my reaction. What is he going to do to him? However, I sat for 30 seconds and I thought, who is the audience I'm dealing with here? Does the audience really know me well? I knew, yes, you all know me well. Is this person a bit new to dealing with people? Probably. Do I need to deliver 2 words and murder his confidence? Absolutely not. So I brushed it off and I continued like nothing ever happened. And that was perhaps the best approach to it. Why the club could have gone toxic. It could have led to certain bad things. And at the end of the day, the crowd I was in, I knew that this crowd is not a bad crowd. Including him. Me and him are on very good terms. Now, moving on, fellow Toastmasters, that's another example of how patience could help you avoid conflict. Fighting is not always the right answer. And as I conclude, I want to tell you one very challenging moment I had in life. We had this employee. He was a bit on the autistic side. He was a bit weird. He wasn't diagnosed, but he was a weird fella. But when we put him into one of our stores, for some reason, he hated the previous employee. So what he did was he did all he could to increase sales, and this man increased the sales by 3 times. And I'm talking big numbers. We were shocked. How has he done this? For the next 2 years, we were happy with him. However, on one certain day, for some reason, he started to believe that clients don't have money anymore. I would tell him, my friend, clients have money. Just don't try to upsell them, stop thinking this way. But for some reason, his confidence went low and sales dropped. And soon what happened is, for some weird reason, I remember I sold a client of his something a lot more than what he sold, and he just started to hate me for some reason. And one day, he really scolded me. And what happened was I stayed silent that day. I was patient and I stayed silent. And I did absolutely nothing. What happened next was he became a very destructive employee. Why I'm speaking through time? Because maybe you could learn a thing or two. I'm sacrificing my speech. He became quite destructive over time, and it led to us having to shift him to another outlet. On his last day, however, he was about to leave the company anyways. He misbehaved with me again, but this time I stood up for myself in a very calm way. And I told him this, and this in a very calm and polite way. But watching my smiling face change to a serious one instilled fear in him, and he immediately changed his face towards me. There I understood, God, if I would have done this before, maybe all of this could have been avoided. But anyways, fellow Toastmasters, he's joining the company back. But in certain situations, you have to stand up for yourself, while in certain situations, patience helps. In this book, War and Peace, Leo Tolstoy says the 2 greatest warriors in this world are time and peace. However, that is impossible because we human beings are cunning people. We are some of the worst species known to the world, and these principles cannot be applied. And if you apply them, you may fail in life. And therefore, my dear Toastmasters, deal with conflict in whatever way serves you best. Thank you.
Speech, comedy sketch class, you can choose your pick. That was game. I'm pretty sure that all of you are tired because of what happened at the end. So this is your cue for the sports to have a pause. Gather here for a photo shoot, or to be gathered. Let's gather here for a photo shoot. And then we can break for coffee. Yes, so 9 minutes maybe.
2 minutes. Oh God, 1.5 I wanted to be honest with my if I spoke.
Guys, why don't you sit there? Yeah, Vivek.
Thank you. Thank you.
One guy who, because of whom the agenda like
Okay. So you are on the plan to give some
What is the best approach?
You in the next meeting? Oh.
Sure, next meeting I'm having my office.
Okay.
Sir, can you put the? Yeah. You can, there is no cable. Let me practice my. I totally forget. You was when you were telling actually I was actually thinking something else. Anyway, we are going to run just remember me. He asked me to run a YouTube video.
Yeah, at the end, right?
He's the guy. He's the guy who I think Pakistani movie made a movie. Someone told me before. He's the guy. We can show the PowerPoint presentation, right? Yeah, you can. But before that, sorry, in the agenda. Yeah. I'm just checking. Do we have the? No, somebody else will. You would have the. Okay.
How are you? Good to see you after a very long time.
And see as well.
Great, thank you. We are well interested.
Let's go. I have to keep the culture. I can for WMC.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
I will call them Vivek. You also be.
Let's allow.
Oh, wow. Okay, now we hear the silent return.
Kumar is here, it will never be over on time. You
Why do
know,
you attack someone who is defenseless?
Yeah, that's right. But you're the one who doesn't listen.
You should have said, do you even know how defense works?
Yeah. They don't want to. You want.
Everybody wants. The real thing is that we don't want to be discriminators. Look at the size of the. All right, so now both of us are back.
Yeah.
Why are only we suffer? Why only we suffer and they enjoy?
Exactly.
We all enjoy, you know,
Fine. You know that, I made. Okay, who is the tabletop master? Don't call me.
Everyone is saying him this.
Yeah.
Because I am busy, you know.
I am also busy.
It so happened once I was talking in a class and the teacher said, why you are talking to the women and why are you disturbing? And then I was sitting out in the class, by the way.
all right, settle down, settle down. That's the best way to settle down that we have planned. That is none other than you can have your food, you can have your drink, but what's going to happen in the background is there's going to be an entertainment. Entertainment in what manner? It is the lighter moments session. And for the lighter moments session, we have none other than our president who is back and who's taking the stage. Now, about Toastmaster proposal. Football, what is, wait. All right. Football was his childhood and college game. He shared with me his memories of playing in the rain. So I told him, okay, why not go ahead in Bahrain? Why not continue? There's no rain in Bahrain. So how can I do? What can I do? So from Bahrain, no rain. He would sometimes occasionally play badminton. And without further ado, can I call Toastmaster Prabodha to entertain us in the light moments? Toastmaster Prabodha.
Thank you. You know what? Always I have a big problem. And that problem, I want to show you in the screen. Can you check there? I don't know why, but my brain can speak better English from my mouth. That is almost true. And I have a second problem. You know what? So difficult to impress a guy. I tried once. It was those days long back. in my friend circle, there was a girl. She was so open-minded, like a Grand Canyon. And she always said, I want to live my life with full of enjoyment. I said, wow, why not I ask for a date? Once gathering then I send a message to her. Hi, how are you? What are you doing? All of a sudden, immediately she replied, hi. Yes, I. Nothing. I feel bored. That a hint. Okay. Let me ask. Then I said, are you free today evening? Maybe we can spend time together. She said yes, with a big red love symbol. You know, in India, those red love symbol means boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. But here in Toastmaster, everyone's sending that love symbol. It is Mona, even it is Khalid. I thought maybe it is normal here. But anyway, when I saw the love symbol, मन में लड्डू फूटा. Wow, today is the day. I said, okay, I'll pick you up. My thought process actually starts what to say, how to ask her. Many things came in my mind. Evening came, I prepared with gusto and rushed towards her house. When I called her, she was ready. Immediately come and sat in my car. I saw her. She came dressed up like she's going to really enjoy her life today. Then I said, now what? From where to start? Let me spend some time buying something in a mall. Some dress material, some things. I went there, I asked her, shall we buy something? She said, yeah. We went. And I purchased something for me. Then I thought, if I'm purchasing something for me, then I have to buy something for her. Okay, as a gift. Then I realized, okay, between 3,000, 3,500, something I should buy for her. I went, I chose few dress and asked her how it is. She said, why? I said, gift. Oh, really? These all looks nice. And she turned, went to another section. She took another dress. How it is? I did not know the price. I said, okay. Just check the price. It was 7,000. Oh my God. Too much. How I can say no? Okay. Yeah, fine. You can take it as a gift. She was happy. She said, oh, okay. Now that's a session complete. You are thinking to go for a dinner. I asked her, where can we go? She told me to go a 5-star hotel for a buffet. I said, oh, too much for my pocket. I said, no, I feel full. Is there any other place we can go? She said, oh, okay, then we can go for some maybe KFC or pizza or something. I said, okay, let's go to the mall. Then we came back to the mall. We ate KFC, finished. Just we are finishing, she was looking towards the Domino's. Okay, let's buy pizza. KFC, pizza, both finished. Dinner finished. Now what? My brain started thinking what to say, how to continue now. My heart and my brain both are fighting each other, and my mind is like blank. I don't know when both of us came to my car, and my car is on the road. Both are silent. I'm driving, still thinking what to say. Nothing came to my mind. And suddenly I told her, maybe can we go to the bar, maybe some drinks? He said, I don't drink. Oh, again silence. I don't know when my car took a U-turn towards her house. When I realized, oh, what to say? Okay, so shall I drop you or you can spend some time with me? She said, I have to study. Oh my God. Without my permission, my car went stopped in front of her house. Still I'm thinking how to continue, what to say her. By then, I saw she already left from the car and looking at me. Thank you, Bhaiya. I felt the pain right by my chest. Since then, I'm thinking how to learn to say girl for a date. Still learning. Over to you.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
That's one of the most painful brothers that you can hear. You can hear about that.
You consult Norman after the meeting. Don't consult Dr. Babu.
Now that one buyer is done, another buyer is waiting for us. But before I call upon that buyer, let me speak about him. He played a lot of sports, including hockey, football, cricket. Now, he played lawn tennis, basketball, mountaineering. He's a jack of all trades. Except mountaineering, everything else was started, but never continued consistently. He was in the school football team, and since he's from Pune, nestled in the hills and the mountains, he had spent a lot of Sundays on the hills. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up to our table topic speaker, the Rambo from Nashik, Toastmaster Kishore. The right time the IT must went out to do.
This is the time very soon walk out.
Yeah, no problem.
If correct the table topics, yeah.
Maybe he's scared that I'll ask him to come here and.
But I figure these table topic master will rush in the washroom also. Ask questions.
Anyways, now let's. We don't have much of a time. So first of all, thank you one and all for participating in those polls as well as filling up those forms.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for that. That basically was my preparation for conducting this today's session. I wanted to get some data from all of you to see what exactly we need to do and how exactly we need to do. So you can look at that side, it's on there. So these are the polls and options. So is there anybody who can?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as we just go to the next slide. Just before that, yeah. There are only a couple of members who don't have anything else to do on Friday afternoon. Otherwise, all of us, we come here for some constructive work, right? Let's go to the next one. We all know that we don't have any excess money with me, right? So we treat this as an investment and everybody agrees to that. Now the interesting stuff. If you look at this, why we are scared of attempting the table topics. Most of us say that pressure of collecting my thoughts on the spot and expressing them
in a structured manner, that is what bothers me, right? But this is all 12 topics is all about, correct? Go to the next screen and you will see the interest in. Most of us agree that table topics help us developing the ability to organize our thoughts and express them in timely manner.
Interesting.
Go to the previous one. That's the problem. And the next one, that's the solution, isn't it? And it's not me. It's all our combined opinion, correct? So we know what is the problem, right? We know the tool with which we can overcome this problem. We know what we can achieve with that. Then what's going wrong? Is the implementation of that tool, which is not happening in a proper way. And as a result, today we have got all the role players who are sitting here as a king. I'm not going to get it. Whoever does not have the role is saying, oh shit, now it's my turn. Now, dear friends, honestly, tell me if you want to go to a stage where all the non-role players will say, yes, today I'm not taking up any role. So this is my opportunity to come forward and speak. See, look at the positivity and confidence you will gain if you are actually in that stage. I'm here in Toastmastering for around 10 years. They come in for maybe last 20 years. But till now, I don't have that courage. Okay, she is at a different level. Let's not talk about her. But just like me, there are many others who don't have that courage. Whenever I don't take up any role, I sit there and try to, not do eye contact. So if by the end of this year, we want to change this, then we need to change the way we conduct our table topics. Why table topic master has to pick somebody and ask him to come here and deliver the speech? He is a table topic master. He's not a headmaster. He is here to help you, to give you the topic. He's not here to punish you. Right? Now, we all know that we have come here to improve our skills. For that, we have crossed that door. We are paying money for that. Then why we want others to force us to do this? So let's change this at least for this year. From now onwards, table topic master will not call anybody to come here and speak. The first preference will be given. She's happy. The first preference will be given to those who don't have any roles. If they don't want to come here, second preference will be given to the people or the members who have some roles. And of course, the guests, if they want to speak. And if nobody wants to speak, we'll close the session and table topic master will go and sit on his chair. Because unless and until you yourself force yourself to come here and speak, you will not get that confidence. I'm telling this from my experience. I don't have that confidence. So shall we give it a try? At least last so many years we are doing something which for this year, let's try to change it and see by the end of the year, do we benefit from this or not? If not, we can anyway go back to our old method. So shall we do that? Great. So today we have got only few members who don't have any role, unfortunately. There are couple of members here as well as there are 2 members online as well. Hey, again, I'm not going to force anybody. So the first preference goes to those who don't have any role today. So anybody from those want to come forward and deliver a table topic? The dais is open.
Members, he's talking members.
Members as well as guests. Members as well as guests. I'll count three. In the three count of three, if nobody comes, then the opportunity moves on to those who are taking up the role. One.
I'm having a role here.
If you don't come forward, it's your loss, not mine. Keep that.
Okay, count, Baba, count. One.
Oh, I forgot the Kit Kat. Actually, I thought of bringing the Kit Kat.
My time you will forget.
Yeah. Because he's thinking no one will cover. Right. So, Toastmaster Manoj, DTM Manoj. I'll give very simple questions. Again, that also all the table topic masters needs to think that the questions you ask should be so easy that members should come forward and okay, I'm saying this front of Manoj.
Because that implies directly to me.
Different, strange questions.
Even if you give him a simple question, he complicate it.
See, that's the faith and the trust that I'm building here.
A very simple question for you, Manoj.
I'll make it complicated.
Describe the most memorable sports event you have attended.
One more.
Describe the most memorable sports event you have attended, either attended or watched on the TV. Your choice.
The first question, have I attended such sessions? Answer to that is yes, I have. It was in Patiala. I was there watching few of my aspirants going for yoga competition, and there came a girl at such a tender age of, she was hardly in her 15, and the way she demonstrated, it was mind-blowing. The steadiness that we have to show in a position for a few seconds in a very typical balancing positions. And just for when you do some postures in yoga, it invigorates your energy. And those postures are certainly not meant for certain ages. But if you ask for me 8, 9 years old, the kids doesn't know, there's no need to do yoga for them. But when it comes to 12 to 14, when the hormone shows their colors, that is the right age when you could balance your energy. But this girl, as he said, it still occupies my mind. And how can she demonstrate? So I'm really thankful to the coach that he has trained. It was not me, by the way, but I had a word with her, I had a word with her coach, and they were really synced to that. The good news is that she was from the south. The girl was from Karnataka. Her name was Pratibha. And her coach name was Manoj, not me. Over to you.
We all know that he's a very good coach and he has trained so many people in Bahrain, in yoga and swimming and whatnot.
Thank you.
So, do we have any more volunteers or shall I go back to my seat? Anybody?
Yeah, try.
Sure, we haven't seen you
Well,
speak.
that's coming down. It's not bad. Actually, during the break, he's told me, last time when he came, I was the developer. He called me the first one. So, it was a mutual understanding that I'm not calling.
The universe has its own.
Okay, sure. A very simple question. Okay. What sport did you play growing up and how did it shape your personality? What sport did you play growing up And how did it shape your personality? Sure, Sultan.
Horse riding. So it's a quite a strange or not a regular kind of sport which anyone allowed or exposed to do. But I was fortunate enough to do horse riding in my early age of life. So fellow Toastmasters, TMOD and all the guests. So here is Shoaib Sultan talking about my favorite or my journey with the horse riding. So horses are very like dynamic or interesting species because we all know that they are fast, they are furious, they are very friendly. Once you make an affiliation with them, you never know that what's happening with you. They could be your best friends, honestly speaking. If you make that affiliation, you will never forget that feeling. This is amazing because they are strong. They felt your vibe, they felt your emotions, they reciprocate, they respond. So it's quite an interesting and amazing feeling when you are interacting with a horse. So my feeling, I was in a cadet college in Pakistan and I joined the riding club when I was in grade 8. And interestingly, in the very first year, I was in the college riding team because it's like my style of interacting with the animals. So it happened to very organically that I became the team member and I was leading the horse riding team when I was in college. So this is not about that sport give me that opportunity to explore myself, but it gave me so much energy and positive, not only energy, but gusto in a way that able to explore my own personality in so many ways. But when you are interacting with any kind of animal, whether it's horse or anyone, if you have pets in your home, so it make you and bring you very sensitive person. And as a human, I think we should remain sensitive and honest with each other. And that's a lesson I learned from horse riding. Thank you very much.
Today we saw one more angle of Shoaib Sultan. Right? So, shall I go back? Or somebody want? Yay, come on! You are a big round of applause. Follow me yourself. Great. Now let me ask you this question. How has the perception of women in sports evolved over the years? How has the perception of women in sports evolved over the years?
Perception of women about sports?
No.
No.
In sport. Okay, if you want to make it as about sports, in sports, choice is yours.
Okay. Thank you.
Those must You want me to change the topic point? Can you work that is simpler.
Your speech inspired her.
That was my only point to come in.
I'll give you a different topic. A different topic. See, now we have seen India and China. We are neighbors. India's population versus China's population, we have already overpassed them. But then when it comes to Olympics, still we are far behind China, right? So what do you think we, India or any other country for that matter, need to do to increase our medals tally in Olympics?
Okay, thank you. Good evening. Okay, once again, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Thanks, Yashji, for changing my question because even if it was a previous question, I literally don't have things to speak here because I and sports are in two different zones basically. I am too much into arts and the only factor which drives me from there to here is this extrinsic motivation that I just nothing more than that. And beyond that, when I was coming to Toastmasters, this was the challenge that I put to myself because I always become nervous when I speak without preparations. At least I need some time to note down the points that I have to speak. So this is something that I was challenging myself for. So that is why I have come here today. and about India or any other country competing with China to be to excel in Olympics. Well, the kind of dedication that China puts on, I have seen video. I think most of us might have seen these videos where right when the baby starts walking or when they are in a stage where they can be on themselves, they start this rigorous training. And when I showed, actually, in fact, this question is very good that you put me this question, because once I saw such a video and I showed it to my daughter, saying, see the kind of dedication this kids is showing to, and that no wonder they are winning medals after years. And my daughter told, their parents are mad. Why are they actually, I don't remember the word they use, but then it's kind of exploitation. So since you are parents, you don't have any right to exploit kids this way. So, I basically, it's about the hard work, in each stage, like what should go, and it doesn't happen all on one day. So if China is getting that, it's because of the hard work they're actually putting. And when others start putting it, they'll get it. Thank you.
Exactly what was the answer what was required, like the hardware dedication, what these countries put forward to the sports, and they give importance to the sport that we don't give in our countries. So that's the main difference. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was what I wanted to deliver as a message or whatever you said. That's why I insisted on having this session in the very beginning of the year. And let's give this a try. Let's encourage members to come forward on their own and deliver table topics instead of table topic master forcing it on us. Let's see how it goes, and by the end of the year, we will evaluate ourselves. Over to you.
After that half table topics, half class. It's time for us to go back to regular proceedings. And that regular proceedings is indicated by the business session. So may I call upon our president, Toastmaster Prabodha, to take the lecture. Thank you. Okay, so let's start the business session. Before our ExCom going to start their reports or anything, I would like to call our VP Education to read out the last minutes of the meeting.
Short minutes of meeting number 486, which was conducted on 12 July 2024. The Sergeant at Arms opened the meeting. The President, Toastmaster Prabodha Sarangi, introduced and welcomed the guests, and meeting was called to order. President introduced the TMOD, DTM Manoj Pandey. TMOD introduced all the role players. Educational session had 2 speeches. Icebreaker was given by DM Sitara Sridharan, which was evaluated by DTM Abdul Rahim. Second speech was by DTM Rekha Uttam, which was evaluated by TM Roy. This was followed by coffee break and photo session. After the break, TM Babu had a message for the club, which was to try to reach out and help improve the community. This was followed by the table topic session by DTM Thureya. In the business session, short meeting minutes was read. TM Vivek adopted the minutes, which was seconded by DTM Abdul Rahim. Various new ExCom officers handover was discussed. A suggestion was made to include standard comedy or joke session just before the break, which was proposed, followed by the general evaluation session by DTM Khalid Jalal. With the final message, let's follow our passion with purpose and power by the new president. The meeting was adjourned at 6:35 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any corrections to the minutes of the meeting? No. So then, shall we, anyone adopt the minutes of meeting, please?
Toastmasters, Yosadan, and someone second. Right, just for more. Now, continue with our exam, Toastmaster Ika. We are waiting from your side.
No, so far no more updates.
Everything is fine in
Yes.
all controls. And result, yeah, you are
It's fine and it's doing well, and two-thirds of members have already paid their fees and one-third. But still, they are in travel and other commitments, so I already responded to many of them, so it's fine, and we have positive balance. That's
Vice President, Public Relations, please. Secretary, I think she's not there, so.
All right. You have been seeing the various initiatives that are happening here in the certainly the interwebs. I'll say that this activity is bringing in results going one way or the other. At least there's chatter, and at least we are grabbing eyeballs. So to continue it, number one, eloquence. I have shown you who are the ones who have submitted. I have shown you who are the ones who have committed. I would like more committed people to be submitted and more people to raise up their hands for commitment. For, let's say, videos or those shorts behind the mic series, we had KF and we had Sukumar. So both of them have done a fantastic job. They kickstarted it right in the way that I wanted, and I would invite the rest to drop in and share videos in this manner, and we could continue the activity. That's all from my desk.
Thank you. And now, yes. Sorry, DP membership. Yeah.
The current strength of members are 30, and we are expecting one more person to join.
Today itself. Thank you. And yes, please.
Good evening, everyone. So far, it's going smooth. Since it's the vacation time, we are actually finding difficulty in finding speakers and the like. But then by September, I think everything will be now back to normal. But still, as VP Education, I still find it hard to get people for certain roles, especially because for timer roles, our counters and all, it is we always have duplications. But then for TMOD or general evaluations, we are actually finding it difficult. So as our table topic master just motivated you all, I just wish I can motivate you all to volunteer to take up roles, so that it is, because as VP Education, I spend most of my time picking people for taking up these roles. And one thing that we are focusing a lot on this during our term is this mentor-mentee relationship. So to improve that, what we are planning for is we are preparing an Excel sheet, and which actually shows the progress of this every mentor, every mentee, which will be sent to the mentor and the mentee, so that they can have an evaluation of their mentees. So maybe this will be help them, these mentors, to actually maybe improve their mentees, and for the mentees also to maybe understand what they have actually delivered. So that's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you. See, in last term, we have many new members joined our club, but we did not make any training or any workshop for the pathways. Do we need pathways program training for sure? I want to see.
We share
Maybe
the Google,
the Google thing.
and we'll take a poll and then we'll decide.
Many of those new members are not here.
Not here.
Okay, fine. Then
Most of us have been oriented in pathways.
Yes.
right?
And
It's going.
we will continue for August month also in this venue. Then we think for change over if Crown Plaza will to give us in the same price or something, we'll continue. Otherwise,
Then continue here if they are giving in the same price.
we'll see that. And in December,
Same price.
we are planning in December for our block contest. Maybe we can prepare for that. December. Maybe the second meeting will be. So thank you. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day. We have one more segment left. You know who's going to lead the segment? A former Kerala State and Calcutta University player. Player in basketball specifically. Now she's a DTM, but you might not think that she had a background like this. There was an all-rounder behind that DTM. She had also tried cricket in college. And now after her studies as an adult, she did learn squash and she loved going to the courts. That's one of the few examples of, at least Indians after their studies, they kind of put a handbrake on this slowly. But then here, she had gone ahead and learned a new sport. Now she watches tennis, but only for Roger Federer. After that, I think that's about it. But she keenly watches the gymnastics in Olympics. The Olympic spirit, in her words, tells us how the limitations that we have are inflicted by our own self. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for DTM breakout club. That was definitely well.
That I don't like to take up with general. Because I feel it's the most useless segment. You keep giving on suggestions, no one follows them. You come back and ask them, do you remember I said this? There's a blank look as if, are you speaking out of space? So the only enjoyable part is that I get to follow the evaluators and then they come and do their job. Today being the theme being Olympics, the one thing that I thought was that how much WMC kind of matches the Olympic spirit, because people talk about WMC being a club which is energetic, full of gusto, full of enthusiasm, doing creative things. But it is each individual who puts in that hard work to make WMC what it is. It's the same thing with Olympics. We say USA won this many medals, China won that many medals. We don't talk about individuals. We talk about countries. But for 5 years, those athletes train to achieve something for their country. And I think each one of us has a responsibility here that when we improve ourselves even a notch up, we are improving WMC. And that's the one thing that you need to keep in mind. And that's the few suggestions that I'm going to give. There is also, we compliment ourselves too much. And I'm reminded of this famous poet from Kerala, who was in the court of a king, where the king one day decided to build a pillar out of no reason. Then he invited all the poets of the land and he said, you have to write poetry on this brilliant creation and I will award you. This poet, Abdul Rahim will know, Kunjan Nambyar, he came and he stood there and he could see people were waxing eloquent in Malayalam and in Sanskrit about this one pillar. Stood there for a long time, he looked at it and he said, in Malayalam I will say that, he said, Devastambam Mahascharya Enikum Kittanam Panam. What it meant was that this pillar is great, I also want some money. So I am going to shower all the praises like that. You're all great, you're all doing well, you all did such a wonderful job today. Let's look at how can we progress, how can we improve. So before I go into that, I need to get 3 more victims whom I can comment upon. So let me get the evaluations done first. Timer, may I have the timing for the speeches and table topics also you can do.
Once again, good afternoon. As we wrap up our meeting today, it's time for the report, an essential part of our event, much like the final tally of scores at the Olympics. Let's review how our participants fared in this race against time. Toastmaster Subramaniam completed his speech in 5 minutes 50 seconds. Toastmaster Surabila finished her race in 6 minutes 47 seconds. Both of them performed within the precision, making effective use of time. Then, coming to our speaker, Toastmaster Cliff, he took the baton and continued his race beyond the finishing line, unfortunately. And he completed his speech in 8 minutes 54 seconds.
Just 2 minutes.
There, I hand the baton.
Yeah. But he never broke Sukumar's record of 14. Good job. Good job.
Next year.
Handing over the baton.
20 more minutes. Yes, 20 more minutes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's make recommend more trust on me.
Coming to the table topic speakers, all of them were excelled in their quick thinking and timing, as sharp as a diving athlete's entry into the water. DTM Manoj delivered his speech in 1 minute 40 seconds. Toastmaster Shoaib took 2 minutes 7 seconds. And Toastmaster Surabila, the speech completed in 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
Thank you, Gita. I think your job is not over. You've announced the timing of the evaluators as well. Are we voting for the best speaker and the best table topic master now, or are you all going to share the link later? They can talk afterwards together. So let me call upon the evaluator for Subramanian Veerabhadran's speech, Destiny Never Ends, Norman Das.
Some say destiny is written, but about me, when I strongly believe that destiny is what you write. And today, when I heard the speech of Toastmaster Subramanian, I really felt that he took the first step towards the destination of becoming a good speaker and a good leader. Good afternoon, everyone. General Evaluator Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. First thing, what I loved in Toastmaster Subramanian was he had that gusto of giving the speech. He came here with a smile, and throughout the speech, I felt that the smile was shown in his face until the end. Confidence was there. There was no pauses, what I felt throughout the speech. He had that consistency. So all these three things were the plus points, and I really enjoyed it. We all are over here so that we can improve, and I would like to give a few recommendations so that he can take this speech to a next level. The first point which I would like to highlight is he came over here and he told once again that his name is Subramanian. So that thing he could have avoided because already it was told by the Toastmaster of that day. The second thing what I felt was he had that smile, but when I felt like there is some sad things in his life, for example, his grandfather passed away. So that time he could have lowered his volume. He could have made his speech little slow so that we could have really in line with this speech. And the third thing what I would like to say is the conclusion could have been better because what I felt like throughout the speech, everything was okay. But when the speech ended, I didn't get to know and it was directly an end. So overall, it was a wonderful speech. The plus points were he had that gesto, which was a very good point, and being the icebreaker speech, it was wonderful. The confidence was there, the fluency was there. Only the three things which I would like to share and which I would like to recommend him to take these steps over where avoid telling their name. When it comes to sadness, show that emotions, keep your volume little low when you sad. And the conclusion could have been more stronger that my destination would have or my destination was written over here to come and give my speech. That could have been a powerful ending. Over and all, I enjoyed the speech. Back to you.
The second evaluator to evaluate Surabila Patali's speech, whiteboard to clipboard, Toastmaster Sukumar Swaminathan.
Sports is quite nostalgic. And when today being theme for Olympics, I went back to those days when I used to stand in this green field and I used to have this red shining ball in my hand and I used to have a fast run up and then have a leap and throw the ball. Whether it was hit for a six or whether the person was clean bowled. I delivered and made sure that the others saw. Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, today we saw Surabila in a world-class bowling action. Now she came up with an excellent fast delivery and she came in with such gusto and she delivered the ball that we were all, if not for clean bowled, we were mesmerized with the way she actually delivered her speech. She chose a subject that was quite relevant and something that we all experienced. So that made a connect. And she delivered the speech with such beautiful nuances, with great voice modulation and with great emphasis. We all felt what she felt as to how difficult it is to develop a communication plan in such a tumulting and a trying situation. Now, having said that, how does she go on to become a great bowler who is going to clean bowl the audience with her performance? If she could have looked at her speech, and I always recommend a bell curve where the opening is for a minute, the body is considered to be for about 5 minutes, and then she concludes with a close. And she has a high ground opener, the particular instance where she spoke about people freezing up, voice cracking, but then the fan. If she used that as her opening sentence, saying, do you remember those times when people froze, when voices cracked, but the fans were running? Yes, we saw the screens, and that's how she starts. She would get us into that performance, and we know that the ball is shining, and the ball is coming at 140 miles per hour, and probably the batsman is going to go out. And the other thing is there is a subtle difference that she could have made with her body language. Now, we all know she's a great performer. However, there is a subtle difference between how you perform with your body and how you speak using body language. So if not for all those fluid and mesmerizing movements, or if not for those movements over here, and she uses a more emphatic body language with a clean, great speech that is written to points and delivers, I'm sure she would ace the performance, and not just the batsman, we will all be clean bowled. In summary, a great, flawless bowling performance from her with a few tricks that a bowler does in terms of shining the ball and throwing it. If she is able to bring up those nuances in terms of crafting the speech a little bit better, I think with an excellent body language, she would get us all to give her a big round of applause. Many congratulations.
The last evaluator, evaluating the speech by Kef Jahangir, War and Peace, right? War or Peace. War and Peace. Toastmaster Murali Udeka.
That's what most athletes do when they're walking into taking part. They keep asking the crowd to give them the energy, motivation, and the get on with the sport. Good evening to all of you. Guys, special good evening to you for first making it in, because I was wondering whether you're going to come in and do I get a chance to come and stand here. So that was my first concern, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity. The purpose was met is what I felt, because you're talking about conflict, how to resolve conflicts, and that was the topic that you had to work on. And you, I think, with your experience being an entrepreneur and interacting with different staff and people, you have used it in the best possible way. You have brought in your personal story, which I felt was one of the most important thing, that when you want to communicate or help or talk about something, personal stories give you that edge, and you can actually get all your audience within your purview of whatever that you want to communicate. And you use examples, which I felt was more relevant, because that is what you're supposed to do. You spoke about your grandma, spoke about your dad, employees, too many employees, and I thought you don't have to give so much. That is why I felt you ran out of time. I like the way your dad showed you how a conflict is handled, and that was the best way is to listen and then know when to intervene and not take up too many sides. This is a very good example, because that comes out of experience and maturity, which I felt you used it very well to explain and also tell us about how the whole incident happened. Storytelling, which is excellent. I also like the way you circle back to the topic, War and Peace, and how you closed it. Because sometimes you, mostly, in my way, I always have a problem trying to connect the topic and then bringing it back and ending it with it. I think that was excellent. I don't know how many of you have seen Behind the Mic. In that, the two things that was discussed was, one was eminent and the other one was pause. The main thing was eminent, rapping so fast, and the pause. I said that whole exercise was something that was deliberately done, but not used in full. You were pretty fast, you were literally rapping, but the confidence in which you spoke was something that I really admire. On the whole, I think if you can take care of your time, restrict the number of examples, and give it a little pause, I think you're a natural speaker. You're great.
We had three wonderful speeches today. The first one was the hardest one, standing in front of an audience and speaking for the first time. That's as hard as or as difficult as landing your first job. So let's give a big round of applause for having crossed that line, and now you have joined us. No more excuses, right? The other two speeches, I love the gusto with which both the speakers approach their project and their topic. Surabila's speech for actually following the project objective. Many people you see here come and do a wish-washy job of following the project objective, but she really delivered it, and that's why she deserves a big round of applause. It is not about the time. You know, Tolstoy also said that, may the evil that I do be to myself and not to others. So that's my message back to you. The content was king here. The honesty, the authenticity of content was brilliant, right? So he deserves, in spite of that 1 minute wastage, he deserves a big round. My recommendation to us as a club is how are we going to improve this segment? And one thought that came to me is that all of us need to approach our speeches, look at the project objectives, yes, but also look at the contest judging sheet and each single time adhere to that when we are here. I think that's the way we are going to take it a notch up, right? You do not approach it casually. You look at it that, okay, this is my project objective. How will this suit an international speech contest? How is my evaluation going to be in a contest? How is my table topic response going to be if this were a contest? If we were to look at every single time we stand up to speak as a contest, and if we want to measure up, then that becomes the benchmark of speaking, right? We don't have to scramble around to be groomed, trained, thought of at that point in time, because then it becomes like it is a natural thing to compete with the best by being the best we can. It's not about winning, right? Winning, when I train, the one thing that I say is that unless you have that fire in your belly to win, however much somebody may train you, you will not win, because that is individual, right? But the club can raise its standard by everyone taking the project seriously, everyone talking to their mentors, and every evaluation, like Sukumar and Murali, both of you, your conclusions were really, yeah, damn squib, I should say. You suddenly realized, oh, now I have to conclude. You scrambled and concluded, right? But the conclusion is the most important part because you need to motivate the speaker to come back and do a speech again. So how are we going to do that? Because we waste our time in commendations. And why this is so fresh is that I was training the Gavel children for their GMAT. And that's what I told them. Don't waste your time on commendation. I just want to say, okay, this is a great pillar, give me the money, But the recommendation is what will give you the marks. How you demonstrate the recommendation. So Kumar had the presence of mind to use that keyword in summary, which was great. But if every one of us remembers that, I think our standards are going to go up, right? So that's one thing that I would like, along with Yashodhan's suggestions for the table topic, let's try this out this year and see where it takes us, right? What reports do we have remaining? We have the accounter and the grammarian, right? So whom do we want to hear first? Let's hear not really the bad news, the good news. The grammarian, let's call up the grammarian and then let's hear what we have done. So let's welcome Abdul Rahim back. Grammarian.
My general evaluator, my dear fellow Toastmasters, most honored guests, once again, good evening. Well, as far as grammar is concerned,
I don't want to say that.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, well, I would like to start with where few things where we want to improve, right? Now, try and avoid speaking on religion, religious faith, and politics. Could be rephrased as try to avoid speaking on three taboo subjects, which are politics, religion, and sex. This is very important. Okay, so that would be done. And I have observed in WMC Toastmasters Club and many other clubs as well that whenever we speak English, we have this residual effects of mother tongue. Of course, there is one person we cannot detach ourselves is our mother. So mother tongue is from the mother, so we cannot detach. But still, I think we should try to get rid of that residual effects of the mother tongue. Whoever is speaking, including myself maybe. So I would like to give you some examples, like Indian. It's Indian, not Indian. Ling, it's a link, not ling. Body, not body, it's body. Embody, no, embody. WMC Toastmaster, this is not the right, this residual effects of the mother tongue. WMC Toastmaster, it's not correct actually. It's WMC Toastmasters. And then we had this for the, of the. Most Toastmasters, 99% of the Toastmasters, I see that they use this for the for everywhere. For example, this is the agenda for this meeting, which I'm sure Rekha, you will agree with me. The correct usage is, this is the agenda of this meeting. Toastmaster Vivek is the Toastmaster of the day for this meeting, no, of this meeting. This could be from the Arabic, this could be from the Malayalam, this could be from Hindi, and eloquence, no, eloquence. And some more thing like dress material. We don't buy dress material. Dress material is what? That you buy and you give it to the tailor to stitch. Probably the speaker meant garment or clothes. Okay. And then we had buffet, no buffet. Various officers have reported. So many officers, hundreds of officers. No, we have only 7 officers. So all 7 ASCOM officers reported, not various officers. And then, of course, we had some good usage, which Toastmaster Hita started with a very nice usage of timing, as she mentioned, precision and dedication. It was very nice for the timing, precision. And she also said, make every second count. It was a good usage. And then Subramaniam had this pun with the word outstanding. We all had a good humor, outstanding and standing out. So, paradigm shift. Who was it? Paradigm shift, I think. Vivek. It's a good word, which is the fundamental change of approach. It was popularized by Stephen Covey in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And then Toastmasters Surabila's speech was a grammarian's delight. I could not note down everything. And a couple of things she said that welcoming COVID with gusto.
That is the first time.
As distant as moon. And who said that open-minded as Grand Canyon? Who was that? Prabodha. Prabodha, yes, that was it. Jack of all trades. And I loved Vivek's introductions. It was very nice. I think generally will comment on this. But like the way he introduced, encouraging and making that curiosity among the audience. And of course, he mentioned Jack of all trades. And give it up for the next speaker. Something I like very much. And Rekha mentioned that fire in your belly. So all this, and who used the word of the day today? Gusto. Well, I think Sukumar started since 2 days. He has been using this. And Yashodhara also has used it in the group. Anita Kumar used it in the minutes. And Surabila and Prabodha used it today in the group as well, and today also. Sukumar again. Rekha ji has used it, and Murali has used it. And the most interesting thing was the first person today to use in our meeting is none other than our guest, Toastmaster in the making, Shoaib. So all in all, it was great, and I enjoyed this meeting. And if you ask, I want to resonate with the general evaluator, and I want to be very honest and forthright and candid. If you want to ask me the standard of our rank of WMC Toastmasters, of course, many of us are outstanding, many of us are excellent, but overall standard, if you ask me, in the scale of 1 to 10, I would say 5. That means we still need a lot of things to be improved, especially when it comes to pronunciation, diction, and many other things. So I'm sure we have miles to go, and we will do it. All the very best.
Thank you, Abdul, for that wonderful report, candid and very true to the spirit of WMC that we need to improve. Language is something that we cannot ignore if we want to do public speaking. Because it is the words that we start with the words and then comes everything else, right? It's not about the accent. We often confuse the accent with the diction or the cadence of the language. Each language has a rhythm, a way of saying things. And when we mix that, that's when we are not clear to others. When we don't utter the word clearly, and one small tip I will give you in the English language, it's not the preposition or the tenses that are important. The stress on noun, verb, adverb, adjective. That is what conveys meaning in English. If you focus on that, the stress word in any sentence, if you identify and if you just practice to say that correctly, you're on your way to speaking fluently. Yeah, that's the one way that you can do. Why was I talking so much? I'm just giving her more ammunition to count my arm. I just remember that now after speaking. Let's welcome with a big round of applause the accounter of the day. Okay, I just, before you start, the ballots are open, you can vote.
So this is the counter report, and I focus on my report on the repeated word, especially so and okay. We have, so let me just go through some of the speakers and which word was most. I didn't notice that much ams and us, but the repeated word was really clear for me. So let's start with our WMC. So he has, as I said, he has 7 and, which we could avoid. So when I was listening, this for all the members as well, when I was listening, I know that there are sentences which we need to put and, but there are sentences where there is no need to put and. So that's what I focus when I say that you are repeating it and in the sentence. We have Toastmaster with the tense so, and now we have 7 nows. For our speakers, the first speaker, Toastmaster Subramanian, so you have 7 us and 16 so. You have you have okay also 7. Then the second speaker, Surabila. So you have 7 buts. And K, you have 5 times so and 5 times Toastmaster Jordan, you have 11 so. Toastmaster Sohail, Shuaib, you have 5 times so, 11 times, so no, sorry, 2 us, and again, and I did not count you, by the way. Like that, again, as we said, this is the aim of the Toastmaster, the encounter role is to help us to recognize how we are using the filling, the crutches or the filler words, and which words usually we are repeating. So when you are reading next time or when you are speaking, just put in your mind, there are words, this is our nature, there are some words which we are just keep saying, for example, okay, or but, or yeah, and then as well. By that, it may have a little back to our.
So quickly, let me go through the role players and just say something that we can improve upon. The praises, like I said, are there. The pillar is there. I have praised everyone. All of you are wonderful. Did the president talk about Ramses Medley?
No.
I'm not a very keen listener. My mind tends to wander, and I thought, did I miss it? The Toastmaster of the day, did he mention the founder? Again, no. They say that those who forget history are meant destined to repeat its mistakes, right? So history is something that we cannot forget, where we started from and where that will give us an idea of where we want to go. So I think that is something that the president and the Toastmaster of the day, the president needs to talk about the TMI. The Toastmaster of the day needs to speak about the history of the club, the founder, the founding president, and all those things. It gives the guests a sense of continuity. It gives the guests a sense of history. So that's important. The grammarian, the table topic master, both of them did their roles in a very innovative way, and they deserve a big round of applause. To both of you, or to the future grammarians and the table topic masters, the key element is time. If you're going to make or take more time, then you need to discuss it with the TMOD and then incorporate that into the agenda. We want to do our role innovatively, but not at the cost of time. The reason that I'm saying today is that people have a scheduled life. When I put aside my time, and I think this generally goes for people, 4 to 6:30 is Toastmasters. I expect it to get over so that I can carry on with my weekend. There are other plans, right? We are not just sitting here. That respect for the audience's time has to be there. In WMC, it is taken like that because the biggest culprit is our founding president, who knows it. And then we have Sukumar here. Whenever I see on the agenda that Sukumar's name is there, I go, oh my God, that's it. I'm not going to go on that. But that shouldn't be the thing. An audience is the most respected element of public speaking. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if there is no audience out there sitting to listen to you, you are nobody. You can go on making faces like Trump. But it doesn't have an impact, right? Then why are we speaking? So that respect for the audience, their time, their attention to you, that is the first respect WMC has to learn. We kind of flit it away, and that's not right. Because I do not want to get up disrespecting a speaker and walk out. I want to be in WMC. I come here because of the gusto, the ambience, the enthusiasm, and all of you. But don't make me want to leave, and don't make me dread coming because you will delay me. That's not fair to any member. Right? This is something the ExCom needs to take seriously. So if you're taking up a role, then compact it or discuss, and so that the agenda is adjusted to that. Inform that we may have a longer meeting so that people can plan. But if I feel if we give that liberty, till 10 o'clock we'll be here. Because everyone will stretch it. Their speech can be 18 minutes.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I'll beat his record.
So, we need to collectively think about this and how are we going. Like I said, it's the Gestalt's theory that each individual, if they think about their role and to the overall picture, we can achieve this. But if I think only of my role, then we are not going to go anywhere, right? It has to be a collective thing. So let's work towards that we start the meeting on time, which we did. And let's end the meeting on time. 10 minutes here or there, 15 minutes here or there is fine, but it should not go beyond that, right? We should focus on that. The president did a wonderful job. It was a good message. The TMOD really took my breath away with the kind of trivia that he brought out, which we all thought we knew, but when that question is asked, we really realize that we don't know the answers. And hence, he enlightened us with that and he kept us going. And I thought at some point in time, this is going to be used for some speakers who were refusing to go, but it didn't happen. That he used- yeah, it's so easy. But it's also a beautiful symbol that unless we go all in the same direction, we are not going to reach our destination, right? We need to remember that. The speakers I've already commented, the evaluators I have commented. I love the way the sincerity of this newcomer, Sergeant at Arms, come timer today, who so diligently conveys what she has to convey in such a sincere tone that I feel that, my God, that there is so much of enthusiasm in her, and that I want to bring back that enthusiasm for myself. So let's give a big round of applause. I was thinking that Thuraya, being the mathematician, she would have had some quick formula to calculate how many R's and Ums people did and come out with the square root of that and just one lump sum WMC R's formula or something like that. But it's really good to have you here and good to hear that how diligently you counted that, Thuraya. And like I said, what do I say about the grammarian? That the sincere wish to improve our language. Each time, I just want to ask one question before I stop this, and this is a question that I keep asking myself. We all take in the praise, the compliments that comes to us, and we wear it like a crown, and we feel that we are that. But how many of us go back and look at what was the recommendation and how many of us work on that? Most of us don't. Because if in my stand-up comedy, that is what I'm going to do, that all the people who had the same issue, after 10 years, you can see the same issue still manifesting when you're doing your speech. Which means that you're not taking the criticism. It's not criticism, it's the constructive feedback diligently enough to make that change. That one change, I'm telling you, you will not know in which all way it can help you at work, in interpersonal relationships. Everything that you're doing here is to improve your communication. The minute your communication improves, you will not believe the kind of doors that can open to you. But you need to focus. The club can only do this much. You need to work on that at an individual level. It's a simple thing. If you go back home today and say that from today onwards, I will not say body, I will say body 100 times, it will automatically change your language, right? That's one small effort. And that's what I want members to do along with me. Because this is what I do. Every single recommendation told here, I go, I think about it, how I should overcome it. I discuss with my evaluators and I do that. And I think all of us, if we put in that effort, the quality of the club itself is going to improve. So let's work towards that. The business session was short and apt. Thank you for that. We didn't need long speeches there. All in all, WMC meetings are always, even if you drag it till 7:30, it still is an enjoyable event. It still is a learning event. It still is an enlightening event. And that's why I would not look at any other club than WMC. So for me, to see improvement in each of us is important. To see improvement in the quality of our meetings is important. And that's all that I want to say. If you don't want to give me that money, it's okay. I forgo it. Yeah, back to the Toastmasters.
And that's how, ladies and gentlemen, a former state player played the game of the year. Right, DTM Rekha had raised. Well, among the innumerable points, one of the point was timing. And that was something that I tried to adhere to. Again, we had blown short of time. So I just wanted to say that, even the general evaluator might criticize others for taking time, but even she will take time.
My attitude was, why not? Now it will go on.
In fact, about the tabletop game session timing, I don't want to waste the time now, so I post something on the group about what my comments are.
Thanks for that. With that, let's not waste more time. I'll call upon our president to conclude the meeting, Toastmaster Prabhu. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Your job is done well. If we can give our Toastmaster of the Day to a big round of applause. Well, before I conclude the meeting, I think there is ballot already.
Certificates are
Voted. In the meantime, if I may ask 10 more minutes from you.
10?
No, not 10. No, not 10.
5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay.
6 minutes.
No, 5. Stick to that.
10 minutes. I need 10 minutes, please.
8:20.
Okay, please. Thank you so much.
No, we didn't give you even.
I know myself already. Please. Okay, so this time I require just our guest, Sohail, he wants to show something to us. So, Stephen,
Before, can I say something?
Yes, please.
First of all, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I will not take 10 minutes.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's all great
Yeah.
speakers say.
Yeah. No. So I will take 3 or 4 minutes maximum of your time. The thing is that I did not plan that way, but I thought that as I'm here and I got this opportunity to meet so many friends and everyone was asking me about my journey, and because after leaving Bahrain, I was part of the entertainment industry. I made some short films, directed some short films, and recently directed, co-produced and co-write a full-length feature film. It was 15 minutes. Yeah, it's released in Pakistan in December. It gets a lot of international acclaim. It has been to India, where a lot of Indian friends are here. So I got Dada Saheb Phalke Award for Best Director, for Best Debut Director. For the best film for UK Asian Film Festival, in Jaipur Film Festival, we got best film. In France, Sarji Festival, we got best script. A lot of other festivals, we got nominations, and so we got a lot of applause on that. So I just want you to show the trailer of the film, which is going to release internationally now in December. It will be releasing cinema. We did not lock the date yet, but hopefully in second or third week of August, it will be in cinemas, and I want you all to go with your friends and family to watch it. And it will be, inshallah, in Bahrain cinema as well. So just I want to show you the trailer. I hope the sound will work fine. So don't worry, even then we will not.
इस सुबह में क्या काम करते कुछ अच्छे से क्राइम रिपोर्टिंग कर रहा हूँ साल का सबसे बड़ा केस है एक नई नौकरी की चक्कर में
Can we load it first and pause it for a while? And play the whole thing. Yeah, let's conclude.
I started from the start.
यानी सारा काम हो गया नहीं, सारे मजदूर बचे नहीं, पूरे बनावांगे।
पता चल गया कैसे मारे और क्यों मारे
ये सब तुम्हारे सच बात है, किसी और की नहीं बात। ये बहुत कहते हैं कि तुम्हारे बस की बात नहीं है,
one-sided crusade. It's actually not the.
People how to film, this film name is Gunjal. It's based on two events set in 90s. It's a crime drama. It talks about a very sensitive topic, which is child labor, and dealt with a real time incident of a child labor activist which celebrated worldwide. Iqbal Masih. He was a Christian and from a minority. So like it's a very sensitive and people saying it's a controversial topic in a way because living in a Muslim country and making a film like this. So it's need a lot of gusto and guts to make it happen, but we achieved it and censored past it because we did not unnecessarily want to sensitize the topic. So we true to the topic, and it's still a mystery that who killed the boy. And I hope you will be able to watch the film and enjoy it. So thank you very much. Thank you.
From the drum beats to here. So participants are ready. So maybe we can start. Let me call ATM Rekhautam. And now AP Education. How many minutes gone in that 10 minutes? Just watch that 10 minutes.
I take only 5 minutes. Trailer, I
want these 10 minutes. Okay. So now let me call Toastmasters Subramaniam for the icebreaker speech. Well done. Yeah. And best time or counter grammarian. Award goes to Toastmaster Abdul Rahim in the absence. There is not amount of time.
Change.
He's gone. Yeah, exactly. Best TMOD, GE and PTM. Award goes to Toastmaster Yasul. Even I want to still like that lecture. I might fall. Best table topic award goes to Soeb Sultan. Carrying back.
Keep it up. Thank you.
We'll give you more.
Yeah.
And best evaluator award goes to Mr. Sukumar Swaminathan. Tie you. Everybody should tie you in the time. Yes.
Yeah, just one.
Toastmasters Suramila Patal.
Thank you.
10 minutes over, na?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Well, today the Paris Olympics going to start.
we know that.
You can watch after going home.
Let us go. Let us go.
Anyone having any comments or shall I?
No comment.
No comments. So let me adjourn the meeting. The
And-
meeting number 487 is adjourned.
No, already 10 minutes.
Well, I thought to tell you about our next meeting date. Time is up. 9 o'clock.
Now everybody already late.
My number will be.